Today, AI has placed human and the future of human worker at the center of debate again. It is important to recall that more than 3 decades back, a trade union from India, Bhartiya Majdoor Sangh, raised similar kind of concerns when it decided to observe the year 1984 in India as Anti-Computerization Year. Here I must mention that in 1984, computerization was not a newly introduced concept in India. On June 6, 1964, the Computer Society of India was formed, and some of its official documents says that the different applications of computer use in India were payroll accounting, cost accounting, financial accounting, sales analysis, invoicing and billing, education, training, operation research and development, program testing, etc. So, what pushed Bhartiya Majdoor Sangh to intervene in 1984 was an incident when the Indian Banks Association, IBA, an association of the Indian banks, presented a condition before all the banking sector employees of the country that they will be called for wage negotiation only if they will accept the computerization. It is interesting that at that time, the other largest trade union of the country, which belongs to the communist bloc, easily accepted the idea of mandatory computerization. And that was a big moral blow to the common employees of the banks across the country. It was a time when a huge amount of money was invested to create a hype about the computerization. And similar to AI, the idea of computerization was promoted as some final solution for all the problems of the humanity. From the beginning, Dattopant Thengadi, the founder of the BMS, had this realization that the very use of the term anti-computerization will frame the entire event into a certain light. And they will be projected as anti-technology, anti-development, outdated, Luddites, and obscurantist, as communists used to call them with such names. He had the entire moral cost of running that campaign in his mind. But unshaken from that, he decided to bear that and kept the interest of the nation and the humanity at large above everything else. Some of the key observations and points that were raised by Dattopant Thengadi in his speech on computerization in 1984 are still relevant and can suggest a direction for the effective use of AI as well. In his speech, Dattopant Thengadi highlighted that the inherent elements of centralization and the control of decision making that computer technology offers attracts both private capitalism and state capitalism, communism alike. He had the clarity that by its very nature, any science or technology product can become, has the equal potential to become good or evil, depending upon the fact that who is behind it. And he said that if used properly, the machine can prove to be an asset, and if not, then it can prove to be the biggest liability too. He objected not to the technology, but multinational corporations' approach to technology and the way they were forcing its use on the developing world, including India, without sharing enough information about it, even with the government machinery of different countries. He was against the idea of indiscriminately accepting whatever is offered or dumped by Western world here without considering our local conditions and the ongoing discussions and dialogues that were happening in other part of the world, including in the USA, on the potential harm of this new technology. He was of the view that if this second industrial revolution, which computer technology is bringing, is going to create a whole new environment, a whole new way of life, a whole new civilization, and a very different tomorrow, then a decision on adopting its use cannot be a matter of an agreement between some employee and his employer alone. If it is going to affect the whole society, then every important stakeholder of the society must be made to think about its cost, benefits, and implications. And this can be done by an integrated thinking and mindset as advocated by Pandit Deendayal Upadhyay ji. In his concluding remarks, Dattopant Thengadi also highlighted mathematician Norbert Wiener's technical know-how and technical know-what concept. He referred that Dr. Wiener, the founder of cybernetics, the intellectual foundation of computers, was of the view that it is necessary to distinguish between the technical know-how and technical know-what. While technical know-how tells how to achieve the given purposes, it is technical know-what that gives the clarity that what are the purposes to be achieved. So from east to west, in a way, that was the beginning of a good debate, which could have shaped the future technology development in a better direction. But we have seen whether it is Wiener's warnings on technology misuse or Dattopant Thengadi's arguments on working with an integrated thinking and approach, or many such other ideas of that phase. They all were largely remained ignored and sidelined in the mainstream of technology development. So today, when we are discussing the responsibility in AI, the need is to recall those ideas with an open mind and a fresh approach.